Buddy Grant Miller here, Miami Community Newspapers with Terry Black, the South Dade Chamber, and we got the Colonel Briggs.
Briggs.
I'm getting close.
Told you, we already started.
I'm going to say Homestead Air Force Base, but it's not. It's called the
Homestead Air Reserve Base.
Reserve Base.
Yes.
It's exciting. How long you been at Homestead?
Off and on for the last couple of years, about 2 years as the MSG Mission Support Group Commander. So the last 2 years.
In English, what's that mean?
So Mission Support Group really encompasses everything except the flying mission sorry, I'm looking at the camera here. I handle everything under my purview is like engineering. I'm kind of like the mayor, if you will, of the base. So
Told you.
We have engineering, security forces, we have all the logistics, all the communication of the base. All the small facilities for the dining facility and the lodging and all the things that we have available to all of our members and all the people in the community.
You call them members.
I call them members. Yeah, our airmen.
It's a private club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
kind
got
of.
some exclusiveness.
Okay.
You get one of these fancy suits to come in.
Yeah. How many members are there in the Army, Air Force? There's a bunch of different military people there, correct?
Yes, correct.
And FBI also?
Mission partners.
There are a ton of mission partners. I think what's so exciting about
Like what? Like who? What?
So we have our Special Operations Command South headquarters is based there. They report up to through Southcom as their kind of area. We have Coast Guard, which is a great partner on base with us. Customs and Border Patrol is also there. We have some FBI presence, but there's a lot of joint and interagency things that are going on within the base. So, yeah.
Most people don't realize. They just think it's an Air Force base. They don't know it's reserved. So you have FBI. You probably got Coast Guard. Oh, what other stuff? Okay, we can't talk about everything. Okay, before I forget, our sponsor today is Texas Roadhouse.
Woo woo! They're
Where's it
amazing.
located?
Florida City, right off US 1. They love the military. They always give 15% discounts all the time. Tell your folks all the time, no matter
how much.
Then when they're 15% discount all the time, just bring your ID. When they have like Veterans Day that's coming up and things like that, they also give even more discounts to the military and their families when they come in. They are a huge community partner as well. They actually had during really the height of COVID. You remember when we were doing food distributions and things like that. They actually did a farmers market right there in their parking lot so that people come and get produce from.
Is it a franchise or local owned? What is it?
No, it's a franchise. And get this: did you guys read the article about the owner of Texas Roadhouse? What he did?
Now you're going to tell us.
He not only did he forego his bonuses this year, he forewent his salary all this year just to do his part to give back to the community. Made sure that even some stores that were struggling, he actually kept them open, kept the people employed, and just an incredible example of community partnership and leadership. And they're not actually based in Texas. By the way, a lot of people ask us, they're not based in Texas. They're actually based out here on the East Coast. But wonderful people. It's legendary food, legendary service. Go see it. Tell them Kerry, Lisa. I'm telling everybody, Kerry sent them, and they're wonderful.
Can you put the camera on me right here? There it is, right here. And then on the back, it's employees. What is that? Is that a beer holder? Is that a beer holder?
It's a koozie. Do you call it koozie? I call it koozie. Some people say cozy.
Okay.
I say koozie. You say cozy.
Steaks, stuff. They got ribs, things. They got
kids menus. They've got before 6:30 menus.
They got a coupon.
You know how we talk about shop
local, buy local,
drink,
and
hydrate local.
Other chambers.
The hardest time about ours local.
Other chambers say shop, live, play in their area. South Dade, that where you work.
Yeah.
What's your motto?
Shop, drink, dine local.
Drink.
So he gets fixated on the whole drink part of it. But they had I have to say, they have a mango margarita. That was pretty doggone good. I'm just going to leave it at that.
That sounds good.
It's big enough to share for sure.
Okay,
so it's really good.
How'd you get into the military?
How did I get in the military? Again,
you can share?
Kind of from the early conversation, grew up in Virginia and went through college there. Came out of the school and kind of looking for direction. So there was the Air National Guard. I had a really good buddy that was a friend. There was the Air National Guard there right in Richmond, Virginia, and so decided to go join. That's kind of where I
put on that.
So
where I started.
Okay, and you told me how many kids you have?
So 4 boys. Yep, 4 boys.
Age.
27, 26, 22, and 16 years old. Yep.
Your wife's a hell of a woman, huh?
She is an amazing woman.
She is.
There's no doubt.
Is she from Virginia also?
She is. We actually grew up in rival high schools. Did not know each other. We met first day in college, which was pretty
Which
amazing.
college?
Pretty cool.
Again?
So,
What college?
it was a small college, University of Mary Washington, which is based out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. So, yeah, it was
Okay,
great.
So you were
So-
talking off before the camera. You got one that plays high school football,
Correct. Yep.
one that played college soccer,
Yep. Correct. At
and the
UCF.
other two just became students.
So the oldest, which I'm super proud of, decided to go to the Marine Corps. So he served 4 years in the Marine Corps.
No
Wow.
competition
Came out.
there. That it's
Yeah,
okay.
no,
It's okay.
Tried to
Parted
convince
ways.
him Air Force was the way to go, but he has a mind of his own. So, but came out great career, 4 years, and backing up, and he's living up in Washington D.C. area now. So,
And your other son?
my second son is again the one that went to UCF. Is working kind of locally here in Broward area, and he's getting ready to get married in November. So we're super excited about that. But this will be our first time going through that. It'll be great.
Wow.
And with COVID and all of that.
Well,
and,
yeah, the venue
just
has
add
changed.
a few extra.
We've moved it to northern Florida because of, or he's moved it. They've moved it to northern Florida because of some of their more restrictive measures down here. So, yeah.
Well, I think it'll change soon.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when did he get married?
In November.
So you got got Marines.
Marines, college soccer, and then one that played Valparaiso University up in Indiana. Just finished graduating this year.
So they're kind of all
despite
over the place.
And he's out in Colorado right now, and then I've got one at home, so he's St. Thomas.
So you're
doing
almost to that empty nest.
Almost.
Your wife
Almost.
I know.
Well, let me
You
tell
do not
you,
want it to
that
be
is
empty
non-existent.
here, but,
just from history, we'll tell you. Just as the last one moves out,
Yeah.
one of them has to come back for
Yes,
whatever reason. Just
correct.
prepare yourself for that. That's how it really works.
Yeah, but
Okay.
anyway,
So-
so yeah, Homestead.
Incredible.
Yeah.
He did great. Talk more about the base, because most people really aren't familiar. They don't understand about the military base down there. What do you guys do exactly?
Yeah, it's exciting because the base after Andrew, they were basically going to kind of mothball, I think, and then the Air Force Reserve came in, decided to open it. It's very limited compared to where it was before, but we are an F-16 fighter jet unit. They've got a tremendous runway that was left there from years back. Lots of space. Hopefully, people have come out to our air show in the past, which is phenomenal. But we have probably 1,800 airmen that serve at the base. Most of the time, it's only on a UTA weekend, which is kind of our drill weekend, our assembly, the time we get together. That's when we kind of get trained up and ready for whatever
Are
deployments.
they reserves?
Mostly reserves, yes, correct. But we do have a full-time mission there, and so a lot of the training that we do day in and day out is flying the aircraft, the maintenance of the aircraft, and of course, the sustainment of the base, so that when we do have our reservists come in, that we can support that.
How much does that plane go for? If I want to buy it on the
Let's see,
black market.
I didn't check eBay before it left, but I'm guessing it's probably in that $25 to $40 million range. I mean, some of these aircraft, especially the F-16, you see new models coming out, the F-35, the F-22. Those are the replacement models that will be coming out. So a lot more expensive, a lot more functionality.
And what do they
Yeah.
do with those planes when they retire?
Typically, they will. There's a couple areas that Davis Mountain Air Force Base out in Arizona is a place where they'll retire aircraft. So I'm not sure if that's slated for that. They may go to other bases that are continue to fly that mission set. So there's different options for them. Yeah.
Southcom. Can you explain what Southcom is? Most people have no clue what it is.
He doesn't either. He has no idea.
For U.S. Southern Command, as mentioned before, I did work there for many years, and so each combatant command area. You may have heard of U.S. Central Command, which deals with a lot of the Middle East area. Well, U.S. Southern Command deals with Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. A lot of security cooperation stuff. So we interact constantly with their militaries or their counterpart defense mechanisms, provide training, keep those relationships going on that level, which is really important.
I had a chance to a couple years ago go over there when I was still pastoring a church, Russell and I, and we were coming on the base to do those relationship courses, what I came out there for, and Southcom had done a gathering with chaplains from all these different countries, Latin countries, just to foster a sense of community. How does faith and spirituality intermingle with our militaries? How can we strengthen our military personnel by incorporating faith and spirituality as an element, part of resiliency and that kind of thing. It was incredibly interesting. Got to meet some extraordinary people from all over Latin America that came up for this conference. It was really, really unique. Really awesome experience.
How big is the base? First of all, how long is that airstrip? That's major airline size, right?
It is. It's probably over 11,000 square feet runway. The ramp space. If you ever get the chance to go to Homestead, the history there is amazing. And so at one point, it started in the 40s timeframe. It was set up to support World War II efforts. The Cuban Missile Crisis, all those things that were going on at the time. But you see the amount of aircraft, big aircraft. F-16 is very small in comparison to some. But that whole ramp space was filled up with long-range bombers, and it was amazing. It's amazing to see, but it's very large.
Your airstrip runs, I guess, north south.
Correct.
Kind of.
Yeah.
There's a little base. There used to be a little base off 136th Street, an old Cutler called Chapman Field.
Okay.
It's an old military base.
Oh.
And
okay.
the airstrip was parallel with Homestead Air Force Base, just FYI.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
used to
something
think
didn't know.
Chapman Field was for a field like a baseball field or a soccer field, and I didn't learn until just a few years ago that it was actually
That is now
it was military.
It's the USDA property now.
Okay.
It's the feds. And the reason I know that because I was in 5th grade, 1968.
Just a few years ago.
My friend's father was the not marshal, he was in charge because it turned over to the USDA. He was in charge of it. And you go on the property, the airstrips were still there. They had, I don't know what they're called, where the holes are where the machine guns sit.
Right.
They had them up and down, and German prisoners used to have to maintain the property. But the airstrips, when you get a chance, Google Chapman Field. It's not named Chapman. People think it's a dead military guy. He is, but he was the mailman who was flying mail to Europe or something, got shot down or got crashed.
Wow.
So, and the general,
interesting.
FYI, lived 3 houses off the property. It's the only house in that area that's coral rock. A coral rock house.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll have to check that
I
out.
learned all that in 1968. Not many things I learned, but
You
I
will be
learned
tested
that.
on this later, by the way. You're
exactly.
taking notes.
You better
It's
take
all
notes.
up here.
You see the
Kerry, yeah.
mess, Tommy? Can you see the mess that he's making over here? And move the tin. Move
I know,
the
no, I'm not
tin.
moving it.
He's
I
got
haven't
a
eaten. I
mess
started
over.
my diet today, so.
Hey, I saw someone bringing in donuts
Yeah, I
just a
did
few
too.
minutes
That's
ago.
what
You haven't
Tommy-
had one yet? Oh.
Okay, again.
Texas Roadhouse.
I'm going to go down there this weekend possibly and check it out. Okay, so the military, how long have you been in the military?
So going on 30 years now. Yep. 30 years total. Crazy.
And you're not planning to retire soon.
And I'm only 40, so that's good.
Yeah.
Now,
Ask him about the 10th Air Force, because
The what?
that was something new to me. 10th Air Force over in Texas.
Over in Texas. So
How are you connected?
Yeah, the connection between our numbered air forces, basically based on your mission set. And sorry, I'm looking at the camera here. Based on your mission set, the Air Force is kind of divided into mobility air forces and then combat air forces. And so 10th is our headquarters. It's kind of our go to war. Help support the things that we're doing, and there's multiple bases. I think, I should know this, 8 to 10 bases that fall under 10th Air Force, and so we have a 2-star general that the wing sort of reports up to. There's also Air Force Reserve Command, which is up in Georgia, and so that's our overall headquarters, and then that has responsibility up into the Pentagon. So
okay, so how quick can that jet get to Texas?
how quickly did that jet get to Texas? Well, and not being a pilot, I would say very fast. I don't know how to.
It's not
Why is that?
hours, it's a short period of time.
Yes, very short period of time. Yeah, when you can go,
Boom, you're
Mach
there.
2 or those speeds, it doesn't take you long. Just having to have the fuel to get there is that fast is.
And what I also learned?
What?
It's getting larger by the day. A handful of female fighter pilots
Yes.
as well. And I got to meet one. Her call sign is Grizz. Hi, Grizz. Shannon Kerry. She's amazing. and she has her own command up in the Panhandle now as well. But heard some really amazing stories on those long flights back from overseas,
Yes.
and what all that entails, being in a very small jet for a very long amount of time.
So you have a reserve base.
Amazing.
Dillon base. What is Dillon base in Tampa? What kind of
McDill.
McDill Air Force Base. Yeah, so that's an active duty base, mainly focused. They have a lot of different commands there, in U.S. Central Command and some other areas there too. But a lot of focus is on the military airlift, these larger aircraft that you put in a bunch of tanks or things into the aircraft and flies all over the world. So there's a lot of different.
But Homestead used to be like that 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, but it would be more kind of strategic in nature. So mention the bombers on the runway and all that stuff. So it had a little more of a TAC type mission and McDill may have done the same thing in the past. I'm not as familiar with the history there, but yeah. So
it's exciting. We really appreciate what you and your team does. Thank you for serving.
Thanks.
And we're going to talk about South Dade Chamber. And it's exciting what's happening in South Dade. Now, we call it South Dade Chamber. I call it just South Dade because they promote everything. And by the way, grown here, buy here. Our school board, Dade County School Board, I met with one of the school board members. They made some lousy excuse why they don't buy products here. But South Dade, you guys keep growing. We're going to get people to start buying you guys.
Yep.
Talk about some of your members.
In fact, next week, let me just dovetail off of that. Tyra was here last week.
Right.
Remember Tyra Banks was here?
Yes.
Yes, you remember.
Yeah,
Actually,
absolutely.
everyone else calls her Tyra Phillips, but he calls her Tyra Banks.
Yeah, right.
She's executive director of Dade County Farm Bureau, and she's putting together a symposium. It's going to be next week, and I have the absolute privilege of being one of the guest speakers on there. And we're bringing in all these restaurant owners and hotel owners, and really putting them together and finding out what more can the farmers be doing to let you guys know all this extraordinary, gorgeous, beautiful produce that we have growing right here, but they're not buying right now. And we're trying to move everyone out of that, just buying from our farmers during crisis mode and just having long-term contracts with them. So that's really exciting. He's got a lot of people on that list, and it's going to be a great symposium.
That's all Zoom or in person?
All Zoom, and then afterwards we're going to go and have a little reception face-to-face afterwards. I know,
Wow,
right?
where?
Right. You can do it down the Redland because we can do everything, just about everything outside, and it's all the social distancing you want, and then some can happen out there, and so. Yeah, we can do that down in the Redland right now.
Well,
so
6
come
feet
on down.
there, anybody
And,
can.
exactly. It's a little on the muggy side. It's a little swampy, but you got
it's
some
fine.
folks, whatever.
South
It's just purge toxins while you're having a great time. It's really good, and hydrate. So you
Yes.
can hydrate
With wine.
Yes. What your favorite choice? It's not even 11 o'clock yet, right? Okay, so I got some new members I want to
Well,
give a
let's
shout out
talk
to.
about
Okay, Cirque Salon Studios, Whitney, welcome aboard. We love you. We love what you want to do. She's going to open up the studio right down there in downtown Homestead. We're looking forward to that. Landmark Real Estate Company, Carolina, woohoo! Glad to have you on board. She's going to help us out with our young professionals group. Remember,
yes.
She doesn't know that yet. Carolina, you're going to help me with that. Paolo from Keller Williams on board. He also wants to help out with our young professionals. So Carolina, Paolo, I'm going to connect you to, just like I connected Tommy to you guys.
Yeah,
This
we
is what we do
appreciate
for a
it.
living. And a brand new one, Jabron Flynn from Aliva. He helps small businesses, a lot of restaurants with all their HR needs. So he, does his contract work for them. He's going to be doing a webinar for us as well, kind of giving us some tidbits on what we can be doing better as business owners and running our businesses behind the scenes, because no one wants to do that. They want to sell their product, they want to sell their food, of course. And we just had a talk yesterday with Althea from SBA, and it's really sad to know how many businesses otherwise would have qualified for PPP, but they didn't have their paperwork in order. They didn't have, that HR stuff going on. And so they lost out on tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars just because they just didn't have their paperwork in order. So we're going to do everything we can to, in moving forward, help our members know what that is, create a simple systems, all about systems and logistics and all that kind of stuff. If you just put something in play early on, it just becomes a habit, a part of running your business. So when a crisis comes along, when EIDL is available and those kinds of things, you got it. You got it.
In defense of the small businesses, it's a small business. They run as a mom and pop
Yeah.
shop, and then all of a sudden, now the government wants to see your books.
Yeah.
And you go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So a small business, it's very difficult. And when I was on a Zoom with Marco Rubio, I said, you've got all these PPPs going after the big companies. The small businesses really need it, but they don't know how to didn't know how to
Right.
do the paperwork.
Yeah.
and that's why they can't get loans. And it's difficult because you don't want to pay taxes, and it's an ongoing battle.
It is. It is. And there's a real healthy balance, and that if you want public monies, you have to make your books public. You have to be held accountable because this is our taxpayer dollars. At work, which is good. We should want this. And that's where the SBA comes in. They can really help with that early on. And again, if you just get it into your system and as you're growing your business, just have that apart, that 2 hours every month set aside. You're going to pull all your receipts out. You're going to set them, you're going to calculate them up. I know that we've had an accountant for years and years and years. You don't like putting them into your budget, but you can't afford not to, really. It's just one of those, you're investing actually back into your own business when you're doing that. And it's a really wise thing to do. So it's really boring. It's not exciting. It's kind of like drills. You just do the same thing over and over again. But it really pays off and you're really prepared. And because we live in Hurricane Alley, and we talk about this every single week. It's not a matter of if a tropical storm hits us. I mean, we've had a pretty active year this year already. It's just kind of a matter of
all those swirls on
that you see on the news on weather. Exactly.
What's scary is the local stations make it more scary. These hurricanes aren't even going to hit us, and they're talking about it.
Right.
Yeah. But again, it is just. I mean, Irma. Look at and we had businesses that were down. Especially when the internet went down, telephones went down. You couldn't take payments online. You couldn't take credit cards, that kind of thing, which are all going towards that, anyways. And so it's just you just have to be prepared for these things. It's just part of running your small business. So we have someone who's going to come and do a webinar for us and teach everybody. And if not, go to SBA.
I got to ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Really important. More important than all that. Is St. Thomas playing football?
They just started last week, beginning practice. So my son told me yesterday that November timeframe, maybe the first game.
Is there going to be state championships? Do you know?
They sound like there's going to be a playoff of some sort. So
that'll be. How many times has St. I know most people don't care about St. Thomas Aquinas. I care about St. Thomas. I mean, how many? Your middle son played with who?
Cypress Bay. Yeah.
No, but he played the one at St. Thomas.
The one that he's at St. Thomas now.
Yeah. Did he play with the one who got drafted and got a $40 million contract?
Well, no. That was several years ago. But I'm hoping he's on that path. Yeah. That's my retirement plan.
My retirement plan is your package.
It's exciting that St. Thomas waited a little bit and try to make it happen because these kids, their whole life they've been depending on this.
Right.
To play high school football.
If I could just say something, I'm
anyway.
a huge football fan, right? He knows this. I'm a huge football fan. I'm texting some of the, Bo Shelton.
Yeah.
We're just texting back and forth over the weekend. He's another guy out at the base. Awesome guy. His name's Bo. Bo's amazing. He has a heavier accent than I do, which is almost impossible, but he definitely does. We both love football. We love Georgia Dogs. I'm allowed to say that when Auburn is not playing Georgia because I have a husband. We've talked about all this a million times. But we're going back and forth and talking about football and everything. Being from Georgia and Virginia, places like that.
You got Georgia, you got Georgia Tech, you got Georgia Southern.
Yes.
You got, what else you got?
And UGA, of course. And
that's Georgia.
Dogs.
Georgia.
Dogs. It's dogs.
Right.
So anyway, going back and forth all of that, is and texting and all that. And now I've just totally lost my train of thought.
Okay,
you just totally interrupted me. I know what it was. Hang on. Playing in November down here. I wish they could keep on doing that because, part of the thrill of going to a football game up there is put on a scarf, maybe put on a sweater. Down here, it's just like,
we don't do that.
I know, you don't do that.
Yeah,
you start
there's no way.
in August and September. It's like you're dying out there.
Real teams will play in November.
So what you have to do is you have to hydrate. You have to stay hydrated a lot.
All right. Commander, she's going to show you how to do this. We got Gary Dula, Big Cheese, Maria Palmetto Bay, Chris, the greatest lacrosse player out of North Carolina, Sally, Kevin Green, David Deal, Ellie Parker. Who's watching?
It knocked me off. I got knocked off, Tommy. I don't know how that happened. I don't have my dudes here. You got anybody? Colonel Biggs, you got anybody in yours?
I don't even know.
That's all right.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
So are these questions coming?
No.
Yeah, we have Allie. We have Robert on there. We have Carlos on there. Have you met Carlos yet? He's like our MAC liaison. 26 years Army, first sergeant, working with us now.
Yeah.
He's the reason why I still have hair in my head during COVID-19. Can't wait for you to meet him. He's an amazing guy. Yeah, got them on.
Who else?
That got him going right now, and all the folks who did the new members. Just
Can
gave
you-
them a
can-
big shout out.
Can you show the commander?
Let me see if we can do this. You trust me with your phone?
Absolutely. Nope. Let's see. Actually, I found
hey.
it. I had to turn it the other way. That's why. That's it.
He's got to do it.
So,
All right.
My
Yeah, we
kids,
got-
my
We're
kids
gonna
are
check
probably
your phone.
laughing at me right now.
Anybody else?
Got Lisa Greer on there. Lisa, Center State Bank, South State Bank, treasurer. She's amazing. They love the military. They have a heroes account for first responders, military, all that kind of stuff. Center State Bank, which is soon to be South State Bank. Yep. They're just growing by leaps and bounds.
Commander, you want to give you got the people who?
Yeah, well,
Read it out.
Miranda, I know, is online. He used to be my guy at Largo Honda to sell a lot of the
There you
Hondas,
go.
so I know he's on there. Lieutenant Colonel Rodriguez now, who's my LRS commander, he's listening in. So he
Good.
just got promoted this past week. so that's
Congratulations.
exciting. And some just various friends and folks that are falling in. So
Yep.
it's pretty exciting.
Yep. So,
choked up
are
on
you
the
okay? Here. You need some more. Look, you
Go
got
ahead,
water.
Michael.
Drink water.
Okay, here's what we have.
Hydrate.
Bob Powers, Eric Reed, and Bob Pizzelli from Palmetto Bay, Stephen Wainer, Eddie Lynn, Horace Fallu, Lady Meyer, Jeff Miller.
That's
Yeah.
who's watching right now.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so
And Lisa Greer says, "Thank you for your service, Colonel Biggs."
Thanks.
okay,
Thanks,
you ready,
man. Thank you.
Commander?
I think so.
I
I'm not
warned
sure,
you. Remember,
Grant.
I warned you about this. I prepped you.
All ready? This is a quick. This is not like the military. You got to answer quickly.
Yeah.
As a kid, who's your favorite politician? Not Abe Lincoln, somebody else. Go.
Oh my
That's not
gosh.
fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, I can't go that quick on that one.
Okay, we're coming
I
back.
forgot to prep you on that one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
Gotta come
bad.
Back to that. Your favorite pizza place?
Favorite pizza
I don't
place.
care where it is.
Portofino's, I guess, is in Homestead area. I love
Portofino's,
that.
another
All
great
right.
place. Yep.
Okay. Favorite hot dog place?
Favorite hot dog place? I guess our AFE's Shopette. We have great hot dogs
Yeah,
there.
they
so.
do.
Where is
They-
that, on
and shop-
base?
yeah.
It's on base. Yeah, we have a
who's
gas
the head
station.
chef there?
Arlith Caro is our
Okay, that is
manager.
good.
There you
Okay.
go. Give her a shout
Okay.
out.
Your favorite Thanksgiving as a kid or as a parent?
Oh my gosh! It was probably about a year ago. We had my wife's father who passed away right after that, so it was a very memorable one. So yeah.
Very
Okay.
nice, very nice.
All right, now the real challenge.
I warned you on this one. You got it.
Yeah.
Got to do good.
Name your kids' birthdays quickly.
Kids' birthdays: October 1st, December 30th, May 2nd, and March 10th.
Your wife's
There you go.
birthday.
February 10th.
Any
very
in-law?
good.
You got your father-in-law passed away. Your mother-in-law still around?
Mother-in-law still around.
Her
and
birthday.
Boy,
Look at that camera and
she
tell her you
is
don't know it.
She is not listening, so
I
that's
did.
a good thing.
I totally prepped
And
you
we're
on this.
deleting the
By the
recording
way,
afterwards.
So
So.
if you don't know any of it, know your mother-in-law.
Okay, right. All right. Your favorite football team?
Favorite football team? I'll have to say I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
All right.
Yeah, there you
Right,
go.
right.
Okay. When are they going to bring the quarterback in?
Probably maybe in a couple games. Let's
I
hope.
agree.
Let's hope.
Right.
Yeah, you got to give him a shot, and see what happens.
And he's learning the whole system.
Yeah.
Everybody's cheering. We want to win, but we want to see the new guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite hamburger place?
Favorite hamburger place? Yeah, I'm kind of partial Texas Roadhouse.
There
Texas
you go.
Roadhouse
Do they have good
is a-
burgers?
Yes, they do. They have
great
excellent burgers, by the way.
Yes.
Your favorite French fries?
Favorite
Anywhere in the
French fries.
country?
Anywhere in the country. I like the Five Guys.
Five Guys
All
fries.
right.
Those are pretty cool. That's a new one. That's a new one on this
Here's
show.
a tough one.
Yes.
You're a superhero as a kid.
Oof.
Batman, Superman.
I'd have to say I'm an Iron Man guy. and
Iron
yeah,
Man.
Yeah, so.
And
It-
Ed
because
is
it
a great
flies.
series, too, they had on movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favorite taco place?
Favorite taco place. I don't want to promote Broward, but we have a place
all
that's
right.
very close. Ben Cheetos is my favorite. It's addiction. And my wife will say, I got to stop.
By the way, Robbie
Robinson.
Robinson from Broward County is watching right now.
Okay, good.
Okay. We got two more. Easy one. Your favorite chicken place?
Oof, man.
Come on, Commander.
Is that Texas Roadhouse? Should we?
No, you got-
No,
Yeah, you gotta do
they
something.
did-
You can
they
pick
did
something
good.
at Broward.
Yeah. Are you a
tend to be
Chick-fil-A guy?
Chick-fil-A guy.
Oh, I love Chick-fil-A. They're opening one in Homestead. They're opening one
Yeah,
in
in
Cutler
Florida
Bay.
Oh, are
City
they
and in
really?
Cutler Bay.
Oh,
And it's
Let me
funny,
tell
I
you.
met the
Get one on
owner of the one at Dadeland at a barbecue place, Old Cutler 168. Mark Bonicani and Pat Shee. He has a barbecue place called Smoke. It used to be called Pig Floyd, but they had to change the name. But I met the owner of Chick-fil-A. We're just talking. Somebody says he's the owner. I love Chick-fil-A. Not the mothership. Just he owns the one at Dadeland.
Okay.
I love Chick-fil-A, and I love the pickle.
Yeah.
I love the plain with what?
It's
I ordered
tasty.
2 of them.
Yep, they're awesome.
That's
Got to get
fantastic.
extra pickle with mayonnaise on there. They're amazing.
What's your favorite fish?
Favorite fish? I'm a tuna, definitely.
Like tuna?
Okay,
Like,
I would
are
say
you talking
your
about
favorite
food?
fish restaurant, but you get
Oh
go
yeah,
for
well, I guess we went to. You said fish, so
I did. Okay.
Do you do any deep sea
Dolphin.
fishing down here? Any?
Some of the members of the MAC have asked to go out. I have not gone with Jake, but that is one.
You
of
got
the
to
things
do
that
it.
I
You got to
wish
do
I
it. There,
could
there's
go,
one this
yeah.
weekend, so there's two
there?
open spots. So let me
Okay.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to do
Tommy,
it.
were you invited?
Totally.
Okay, I don't
You
know.
got to
what
wear the
holi-
uniform.
I don't know what holiday you spend, but what I'm going to say Christmas. What's your best Christmas as a kid?
Best Christmas as a kid.
What gift did you get as a kid?
Oh man, I think the big wheel was one of the pretty very exciting ones.
Wow.
Yeah, we wore the
That
socks off of
Okay.
that thing,
Really
yeah.
goes
Now,
back.
your best Christmas as a parent.
As a parent. Oh my gosh. I'll have to think about that one. I know I have a favorite, but
Did you ever dress up as
it's all,
Santa?
it's actually when all the kids are together. So when we had all four and everybody's in the house, so there's so many great memories. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they all come in for Christmas?
They do come in for Christmas. And actually, we went on a cruise for Christmas one year, and that was probably the most memorable.
Well, it's
Oh,
changed
neat.
because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
You
one
can't do
son's
that
getting
anymore.
married.
Yeah.
He has to. If he's
You
smart,
gotta-
he spends
gotta
time with
balance.
her family.
Yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas, you got to do that back
Yeah,
and forth
exactly.
thing.
Oh boy.
The magic of a mix, of a military. How do you become successful in the military as a,
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a great question. So, the military's got so much great, benefit to it for all of our members, and so, especially for the Air Force, it's about integrity, it's about service, it's about excellence. So when you teach, those values and those core values and bringing airmen into the fold, it really is an organization. We were joking about the club, but the club is really critical because there's a lot of diversity, as Kerry already mentioned, and there's a camaraderie, a sense of teamwork that you got to get the mission done. So the magic really is, building off those core values, teaching airmen, getting them proficient in their job, understanding the organization and the structure that helps us be the best Air Force in the world. I mean, I know we do, the wing, I would say, is the best, greatest fighter wing in the world, but that our Air Force is no doubt excelled because of our capability to build airmen and build them well and build teams and so on. So.
what your reserve base? People don't realize it. All you're doing is practicing, and maybe one day it happens. We don't want it to happen.
Yep.
But that's what
Yeah.
every weekend you're practicing. Am I correct? Is that nice?
That's correct. And I mean, I'll use your analogy of the football, right? So I mean, imagine just going to practice every day and not having that game or that thing that you're practicing towards. But you have to be prepared. So if the schedule comes out, and that's probably a bad way to put that, but it's a way that we have to be prepared. And so day in and day out, we're doing training constantly.
And do reservists, I already know the answer to this question, but I didn't know until a few years ago, to become a reservist, do you have to have already been in the military prior?
No, you do not. So we've got a lot of young folks out there that may be looking for something to do to challenge themselves. So if you're coming out of high school, there's certain age restrictions. If you're coming out of college, wherever you can join, and it's a great opportunity to wear the uniform, do a lot of the core values and things that I talked about already. But we do have prior service, so there are folks that are in active duty right now that are thinking that, hey, that every couple year move is not really working for me and my family anymore, and the reserves are a great place to continue to serve.
Yep.
So
Yep. So is the Air Force Reserve, are they looking for a few good men and women?
we are.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
What
Always.
do you
And-
have any idea, like if someone's listening right now and says, I want to learn more about it, where can they go online or just kind of learn about the overall broad stroke? Do you have that? Now, that one I didn't prepare you for.
Yeah, no,
Question.
that's
Sorry.
okay.
What's the web page? You have a web page?
So I would do a Google search. I don't have the specific
Okay.
webpage. Maybe we can even bring it up. But if you go to Air Force Reserve, Air Force Reserves, there's recruiting numbers. There's obviously toll free and way to put in data and information online, so folks can call you back based on your geographic interest and or maybe your skill that you're looking for. And so, of course, look up Homestead Air Reserve Base. We have our contact our recruiters there as well. And just reach out to us.
Nice.
We're ready to talk and at least listen to some of the great things we can offer.
Yeah, Russell just missed it. He just missed it by a year or
Well,
two, so
I
he
know
wanted to.
we were trying to get
Sorry.
Russell. I've been trying to recruit him for a while.
In the 70s, did Ron have a newspaper, Air Force Base? Our father had a newspaper just for the Homestead Air Force Base.
Homestead Air Force Base News.
Yeah. So here's
Do
if
you,
you
do
look
you still
at-
have the spotlight out there?
Yeah, Reserve.com, that's the recruiting.
there it
Right.
is. We put it on. We
Reserve.com.
put it on there.
Nice.
Fantastic. Thank you
Nice.
for doing that too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Is Spotlight still out there? I know, like, was there like a once a month publication called the Spotlight? Is that still happening out
so
there?
so all the great services that we have on base, we constantly are putting newsletters out and marketing and doing events on base because, well, prior to COVID, we were doing a lot more things. But those things are really critical, I think, for cohesion, people that work at the base and all the things that the services that we provide. So yeah, that does. And some of the spotlight, I don't know if it was mentioned, but April in 2022.
I didn't know if we could talk about it.
Yes, we're planning on an air show again.
When?
2022.
April 22.
22. How exciting!
Yes. So we have we were focused on that.
And who pays for that?
So there's sponsors that come in as part of that, and then there's some things that we do internally.
But that's also a training.
You could consider it a training. I think it's more of kind of getting ourselves out in the community
Yeah.
and helping people understand, what the Air Force is about.
And it's a marketing
power.
tool too.
It is. It's a great recruiting tool, and that's really why we do it. I mean, the taxpayers pay a lot for some of these things that we have, and so it's important that we share with them in the community about the base, about the aircraft, and get some interest. There's a lot of people.
And it becomes a huge South Dade shout out, huge. And
Yeah,
and
it's-
it used to
it's
be in
exciting.
November every other year, and you've moved it to April, which I think is great because unfortunately we always competed with the world's largest boat show. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's up in Fort Lauderdale.
No, I
So
don't.
it's always on the same weekend.
No,
so
and there's
they've
nothing
moved
more-
it.
there's-
and-
that's in another world.
I know.
You cross that border. We don't give visas.
No, but you know that they're going to have it. You know that they're going to have the
Yeah,
the boat show. Had you
hats
talked
off
about
to
this?
Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, yeah, for being able to pull that one off, and also it takes about a year to really start planning one out. So come April of
does,
this
it
year,
And there's no bad seat.
There's no bad seat. You can be right outside. I know this last one, people were at the Walmart down the street, and they can see everything you can on base.
Okay,
But
yeah.
you get a better
It's awesome.
experience on
It's
base.
amazing.
Wait, so-
Every year is great.
Like some football colleges or pros, the planes fly over. Who pays for that? Do they, or it's just
The
because?
flyover. during
Yeah, the
the-
flyovers for before they put the stadium top on there. But that's part of the kind of the recruiting
I think
things
it's
we
I-
do to support all that
Again,
stuff. Yeah.
I just think it's beautiful.
You do remember the NASCAR race, right? Do you still do that?
Yeah, so they still do the
fly over
NASCAR races, and we have all kinds of events that we go.
It's a
across
great
America.
recruiting tool. Everybody's patriotic. I still cry at football games when the national anthem plays.
Yeah.
It's just touching, and we know originally the military paid to get that sung before the game 40,
know
50
that?
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
great
That's a new one for
recruiting
me.
tool.
It is. It's fantastic, and you get chill bumps, like you said. The national anthem, and then when you get that roar of the jets coming over top, it just really does
It's still-
amazing
Yeah.
things for
There's,
you.
there's
Is
no
St.
other place. I'm
Is
telling
St.
you.
Thomas going to have it in their opener?
No, I don't think so.
Come on, Dad. Can you work something out
Well,
first?
I got to ask the new base commander. Maybe a little.
But to wrap it up, the flyover. I don't know if it's for your office, your base, when they did the heroes through all the hospitals. Was that for you guys? Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I mean,
participate
come
in
on,
that.
everybody in South Florida was
Oh, yeah.
cheering.
I was
it
up on my
was
roof,
epic.
up on the roof with
Yeah.
Russell up on our roof,
And, we
taking
started
pictures as well.
down in Homestead, went up the coast, and then kind of came back around.
That
and
was beautiful.
That was fantastic, and I
Yeah.
think people appreciate that. That's another benefit to understanding that we're there, they're there for us, we're there for them, and that's amazing.
I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up. I really love military people that are elected officials. There's a bunch of them running. I just love that because they understand everything more than anybody else. I just saw 2 or 3 new ones across the country. They serve the country. They want to serve the country more.
Right.
And you guys
Yeah.
are special people, men and women.
Yeah, and I think it's great because some of those core values, like I mentioned already in the Air Force, integrity, service, being excellent in all you do, those are the things that are really important. Yeah.
Not just to us, not just all of the United States and the world.
Correct.
Right.
We're the protectors of the world. People forget that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're absolutely right on that.
We thank you. I want you to announce real quick
Yes.
some your top members quickly.
Top members. Here, he's doing it to me again. I told you, he throws me under the bus. Like our trustee members, Homestead Hospital, first and foremost, just did something with them last week as well. If we did not have Homestead Hospital in our community, there would be a gaping hole in our community. Cannot say enough things. The first responders and the nurses and all the leadership, they're just truly amazing. We had Gary a couple weeks ago from REMAX. We got a lot of, we actually have a new member, Schoolie Mitchell, Ken Ross, high school. Good. He's doing a webinar for our members as well. Helps them to save money. So those are trusted. A couple of them are doing great. I do want to say something about military. So
Go ahead.
Wrap up. Is that our Military Affairs Committee, and Colonel Biggs knows all about this. We have been working diligently during COVID, especially. It just kind of just a door opened up that we could really hit this subject about military-ready housing. It's again, we've talked about this over and again. It's very expensive to live in Miami-Dade County. Some of the E1s through E5s, I would say, maybe even E6s, they, all the huge down payments you have to put on a home down here. It's first, last, security, pet deposit, all this kind of stuff. We're really working hard in creating a whole entire network within Miami-Dade County, at least, so that it's much more military ready, military friendly, so that when these guys are moving down here, whether coming into Miami-Dade County as reservists or active duty, even veterans, we want to make sure that we are saying thank you to them for all of their service by making sure that they can affordably live, work, and play in South Dade, particularly in the deep South Dade community. Even in deep South Dade, everyone knows
Deep
this.
South Dade's from Cutler Bay South.
Deep South Dade,
I just
So we're
wanna
doing that, and the other spousal employment. Again, we'll talk about it over and over again until it becomes, at least in Miami-Dade County, we're shattering the statistic of about 20% of all of military spouses are unemployed, which is still today the highest unemployment category in our nation, which that is a tragedy. And we do a lot of partnerships. I was just on an incredible phone call yesterday, more to come on that later, about how we can even strengthen that network so that when they're coming into our community, like your wife, for example, if she was looking for a job, she would know immediately who to go to. There would be a plethora of
Big words.
job.
These words from South
I
Dade.
say plethora, he says plethora. So
Like tomato, it's all
tomato. So anyway, we're working on that as well, and we just want to. It's an ongoing process, but anything that we can be doing to ensure that our military is respected. Here, we're ready for you. That not just discounts in restaurants like what Texas Roadhouse does, but so much more than that, because it's our community's way of giving back to the military as they make extraordinary sacrifices to be the world's guardian.
Absolutely. I just want to recognize again Texas Roadhouse, and I love this back of their shirt.
Yeah.
I love my job, Texas Roadhouse. Thank you. They got kids' night. They got
Tuesday night tonight,
Tuesday
right?
night, Wild West.
Yep.
Is the mayors of Homestead and Florida City going to go there? They're going to leave the corral and come there?
Yes.
Okay, want to
yes.
make sure. I just want to recognize Al, Daisy, Dennis Lindsay of the high school that get a college degree.
Nice.
Eloise Rodriguez. Now, what I like you to do, Colonel, I want you to look at that camera,
Okay.
and you're going to close it out. Say
I mean,
thank you very much. Go ahead.
Okay, how much time do I have?
You guys, as long as you want.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry though. So.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to thank you, Grant, for having us and having the opportunity to kind of highlight the base and all the great things that we have going on there. We have a fantastic group of people, a team effort. But I would be remiss without Kerry talking about the MAC and the chamber. That connection with the community is invaluable. I mean, we bring a lot to the area economically and stuff, and we live and we work out there. Unfortunately, the housing that was in the Homestead Air Force Base has gone. So we realize as members move into the area, there's a challenge here. It's a very expensive area to live in, and that we're working together to figure out best ways to serve our airmen and make it more comfortable. The other relationships that go on with the Texas Roadhouse to the others. We miss all of you coming on base, because that is where we would connect and kind of figure out what's next, what the base is doing. So we continue to do that virtually, which is great. But again, Air Force, any level of service, people are interested to learn, how to gain a skill and also, try to serve this great country is something that we can't say enough about. And please reach out to us, reach out to whatever you have interest for us. So. But that's it, Grant. I really appreciate it. I don't think I have anything else to close. This is my first Facebook Live, so I think I did okay. Hopefully,
What's St. Thomas's nickname? The
Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Go say go Raiders. Say it.
Go Raiders.
All right, that's it. Wrap it up. Thank you. That's it. We're done.